Hello YouTube. Today I am responding to one of the requests I received from my last video about this Citizen Eco Drive timepiece that has a slide rule bezel. One of the viewers asked me to come up with a video showing how to use this slide rule, and I will attempt to show a few of the calculations on the slide rule right now. What you can do with this, as I mentioned before, many times before while reviewing this watch, you can do multiplications, division, percentages, tip at the restaurant, for example. You can do all kinds of conversions, currency conversion. You can do conversions of US gallons to liters, US gallons to imperial gallons, liters to US gallons, liters to imperial gallons to US gallons. You can do kilometers to miles or nautical miles, miles to nautical miles, or miles to kilometers, and all those things. And I will show to you right now how it is all done. Let's start with a simple multiplication. Let's say we want to multiply 8 by 5. We start with putting rotating the bezel, and that's this crown over here, rotating it so that the 8 on the outer bezel will be placed. See what I'm moving that against 10 here. So by doing so, while we align them, we can look at the inner bezel here right now and say 8 times 5 or 50, it's the same here. Those additional zeros are here for different reasons. So 8 on the outer bezel times 5 on the inner bezel equals 40. Same thing if you want to divide. 40 divided by 5 equals on the outer bezel 8. You know what I mean? And this way you can do whatever whatever calculations you want to do in a similar way. Or let's say you want to do percentages. Let's say you want to calculate how many percent will be the 15% of 80. Like for example, your tip at the restaurant came as $80, and you want to know how much you want to give to the waiter. So 15% of 80, you need to find again 80 against 10, and then find 15 over here. Now look at the top, it says 12. So 15% of 80 will be 12. Same thing it will be if you want to calculate how many percent will be like 150% of 80, that will be 120, and so on. Or again, if you want to know your waiter brought you the bill and it is $80, let's say, and you want to know what will be your total pay with the tip to the waiter, and you want to give him 15%. So again, 80 against 10 here, find 1.15 over here, because 15% of the tip will be 1.15 of the total pay, and 1.15 will be right in between 1.1 and 1.2, so over here, and that's $92. Okay, now let's talk about conversions. There are markings on the inner bezel here that have US gallons, you have liters, imperial gallons, and so on. If we want to calculate or to convert, let's say 10 US gallons into liters, how much it will be? We need to find US gallons on a bezel, and it's over here, this mark over here, US gallon. You need to put this mark against 10 on the inner bezel. Let's rotate this like this, until that red mark is against 10, because we said we want to calculate how many liters will there be in 10 US gallons. Look, I'll show it to you again. See that 10 over here, and this red mark against US gallons, this red mark is exactly against 10. We want to know how many liters will there be. So we rotate this thing until we find where the liters are, and they're over here. Let's move it so we can read it. Liters here, red mark, and it's against almost 38. See, 35, 36, 37, 38. It's actually precisely it's 37.85, but that's all you can do here on such a small scale. If you want to do to know how many imperial gallons will there be in 10 US gallons, okay, that's even easier. Remember, we put 10 gallons US gallons against 10, and imperial gallons are right over here, and you can see that it's 8.3 imperial gallons here, those little tiny markers here, 8.1, 2, 3. Precisely, it's, if you convert that on your computer or calculator, it will be 8.32, but that's good enough over here. Those are US gallons, 10 of them, and imperial gallons, 8.32. Let's say you want to convert liters into US gallons or imperial gallons, and you want 10 liters and find out how many gallons will there be. Then we need to find those liters. You remember we've looked at them. They're over here, and move it against 10 in either direction. Let's move it against 10. Against 10 on an inner dial. There. And pay attention to the mark over here. It says the word liters, but the red mark is right over here against 10. So now we want to find out how many gallons will there be in 10 liters. We need to find those liters on gallons on the outer dial here. Here they are, both US and imperial. US gallons, it will be, see this 2.5, 2.6, and a little bit more here. It's actually, if you calculate it, will be 2.64, but 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, it's in between here, 2.64. That's US gallons in 10 liters, and 10 liters in imperial gallons will be 2.2 over here. Now let's say we want to convert 10 imperial gallons into US gallons, right? Then we have to rotate the outer bezel. We said 10 imperial gallons. Imperial gallons against 10 on the inner dial. Where am I moving? Here. There. I'll show you. This is 10 imperial gallons, and you want to know how many US gallons will there be. US gallons, red mark for against US gallons is right against 12. So 10 imperial gallons means equals 12 US gallons. Now conversion of kilometers to nautical miles and statutory miles. let's say we want to convert how many miles will there be in 10 kilometers. The markers for kilometers and miles are on an inner dial already, and let's say we want, as I said, 10 kilometers. Let's put 10 on the outer dial against kilometers, and the kilometers marker is over here, right? Yeah, over here. So we need to move this 10 against kilometers here. Let's do that. Against red mark on kilometers, and it will be here. See this red mark against kilometers? And we said we want to know how many statutory miles and nautical miles will there be. Over here we see the statutory miles, and it will be against 6.2. 6.2. So 10 kilometers equals 6.2 statutory miles, or nautical miles are over here, and it's less than 5.5, so it will be 5.4 or thereabouts. 5.4 nautical miles in 10 kilometers. Or if we want, let's say, convert 10 statutory miles and find out how many kilometers will there be, then we need to put 10 on outer dial against the miles in question. We said we want to know how many kilometers will there be in 10 statutory miles. Statutory miles over here. See? That's 10 against statutory miles, and that will be over here a little bit over 16 kilometers, precisely 16.1 it is if you do the calculations. Or if you rotate the 10 against nautical miles, which is over here, see, again it's over here, then you want to find out how many kilometers will there be. You just read against kilometers, and it will be 18.5, right in the middle between 18 and 19, 18.5 kilometers. And the last one I wanted to share with you is the unit conversion, currency conversion. Again, back to the 80 against 10. And the reason why I use that example is because let's say we know that 10 US dollars, let me rotate it here, 10 US dollars, sorry, 10 Canadian dollars is approximately 8 US. 10 Canadian is approximately 8 US. If you want to find out how many US dollars will there be, if you have 15, convert 15 Canadian dollars. By just looking at your screen, you will notice that it will be 15 Canadian dollars will be 12 US, or anything else like 20 Canadian will be, what is it, 15, 16 US, and so on. You don't need to do much. You can do those conversions right on the go while you're at a restaurant or anywhere else. All you need to do is install the conversion rate at the beginning. If you know that 8 US dollars equals 10 Canadian, and then just by looking at the screen here, looking at your dial and both of those bezels, inner and outer, you can always convert one unit into another. That's all I wanted to share with you today. Hopefully it wasn't too long, but at least I satisfied that viewer who asked me to show how to do the conversions and calculations using the slide rule bezel on this wonderful timepiece, Citizen EcoDrive perpetual calendar with slide rule, and that was one of the reasons why I bought it in the first place. Thank you. If you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate any kind of feedback you have about my videos, and I promise to respond to each and every one of them. Okay, thank you. Bye.